Start off with one of the biggest stories at this time. Now, by the end of this month, when minimum wage earners in Nigeria receive their salaries, well, they'll be getting more than ×2 of the 30,000 naira which they received last month, following the agreement between the federal government and the leadership of organized labor to peg the new minimum wage at 70,000 naira. Well, speaking after the meeting, which was presided over by President Bola Tinubu, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Mohammed Idris, said, in addition, the federal government will make more investment in renewable energy and the acquisition of CNG buses. The labor leaders, on their part, shared the decision to review the minimum wage every 3 years.
The federal government and the organized labor have agreed on an increase on the 62,000 naira minimum wage. The new national minimum wage that we expect Mr. President to submit to the National Assembly for legislation is 70,000 naira. But that is not all. There is also a boost, like Mr. President has assured, in ensuring that massive investment is going to be made in the area of infrastructure. There is also a deepening of the investment of the federal government in renewable energy. More money is going to go into the acquisition of more buses, the CNG buses. Nigeria is going to be more CNG compliant, according to the president. We are moving in this transition to renewable.
We are taking this with mixed feeling because of the situation of the economy. But we have to move ahead, despite the situation, and the negotiation can linger, coming from 62 to 70, and then with the promise that we'll come back soon.
A long journey up till this point, so don't worry, we'll be getting to that journey, and more importantly, the journey ahead. But that's not all that came out of that meeting with President Bola Tinubu. He's also directed that the concerns of members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and those of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities, SANU, should be looked into and the modalities worked out to pay them. Well, this was disclosed by the Minister of State for Labor leaders after that meeting with President Tinubu at the State House. The academic unions are demanding the payment of their 4 months withheld salaries and the renegotiation of the 2010 agreement with the federal government, among other demands. Now to the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives is urging proponents of the proposed nationwide protests to shelve the plan and consider patience and dialogue with the government instead. Well, this follows a motion of urgent national importance raised by Honorable Ibrahim Isiaka. The House agreed that the challenges are not unique to Nigeria, and here's how that went.
There is no representative here who doesn't believe that problems that we refer to did not just arise overnight. It is a compilation of years of difficulties that piled up. There's an agreement in our mind also that 1 year is not enough to resolve Hydra-headed problems. The parliament is calling on Nigerians, please bear with the government a little longer so that these policies will begin to see the light of the day. Thank you as I appeal to this house to in one voice support and be willing, if the leadership calls, for us to make sacrifices with our salary. Just a little pain for us to be able to provide food for our people. Our salary is 500,000 naira. That we look at a percentage of that salary.
For point of correction, is 600.
Oh, 600, sorry. But my own doesn't get up to 600 when I receive visa. Maybe some deductions. But based on what you have said, Your Excellency, I'm moving that we amend that prayer to include that members sacrifice maybe 50% of our salary for a period of 3 months or 6 months to help Nigerians and to show that we are in support.
And now to Edo State, where the reinstated Deputy Governor of the state, Philip Shaibu's return home yesterday afternoon began as a joyful moment, but then turned sour following gunshots on the airport road outside the airport. At least one person, a mobile police officer attached to the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Monday Okpebolo, was reportedly killed in that incident. In fact, he was killed in that incident, I should say. Yes, those were earlier reports, but it's since been confirmed that he's been killed. The Edo State Command of the police has issued a warning on political thuggery, noting that anyone culpable will be made to face the law. The state's Commissioner of Police, Funsho Adeboye, made this statement while confirming the killing of Inspector Onoako, attached to APC governorship candidate during that homecoming reception for the reinstated Deputy Governor of the state, Philip Schreiber. Addressing journalists at the police command headquarters in Benin City, the Edo State capital, the police spokesperson, Superintendent of Police Chidi Nwabuzo, said the incident occurred at about 11 a.m., shortly after the entourage left the Benin airport.
Today, it was recorded that Right Honorable Philip Schreiber and Mr. Monday Okpebolo, the gubernatorial candidate of a certain political party in Edo State, running for the upcoming gubernatorial election comes September 21st, 2024, that both of them arrived Benin Airport from Abuja, and their supporters besieged the exit gate of Benin Airport. That is to say, precisely along Airport Road, as they were welcoming them, chanting songs. Suddenly, people started shooting sporadically from nowhere, and unfortunately, the stray bullet hit one Inspector Onoako, serving at 45 police PMF, and eventually he was rushed to hospital. On his way, he gave up the ghost.
Well, the police spokesperson confirming the sad death of the police inspector. Meanwhile, the Edo State governor's spokesperson, Mr. Crusoe Osage, has denied allegations that the governor, Godwin Obaseki, or his supporters are behind yesterday's violence that led to the death of the policeman. Let's head over to the courts now, where the Court of Appeal in Abuja has dismissed an appeal by suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari seeking to quash the drug trafficking charge filed against him. In a judgment, a three-member panel of the appellate court dismissed Kyari's appeal for lacking in merit. Justice Adebukola Banjoko, who read the lead judgment, held that there was no reason to tamper with the findings and conclusions reached by the trial court on March the 22nd rather. Well, let's talk education now. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamin, has made a U-turn on the decision to fix 18 years as a minimum entry age for candidates. At the 2024 annual policy meeting on admissions attended by stakeholders in tertiary education in Abuja, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB also adopted 40 as a cutoff mark for the 2024 admission into the nation's universities, just as it approved 100 for polytechnics and colleges of education. Business news now. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has approved the sale of foreign exchange to eligible bureau de change operators at 1,450 naira to a dollar. Well, the Apex Bank said the sum of $20,000 is to be sold to each BDC at the rate of 1,450 naira to the dollar, representing the lower band of trading rate at NAFEM in the previous trading day. In a statement, the CBN's acting director in charge of Trade and Exchange Department, Ali Mahdi, said the Apex Bank has observed the continued distortions in the retail end of the market, which is feeding into the parallel market and further widening the exchange rate premium. On the foreign scene now, former U.S. President Donald Trump has described how he narrowly survived an attempt on his life, telling a rapt audience at the Republican National Convention in his first speech since the attack that he was only there by the grace of God. When he told the crowd that he was not supposed to be here, the delegates chanted back, "Yes, you are," with photos of a bloodied Trump showing on screens behind them. Now, Trump praised the Secret Service agents that rushed to his side and paid tribute to the volunteer firefighter who was killed, Corey Comparatore, kissing his fire helmet. And now to sports news with the Minister of Sports Development. Senator John Eno is assuring Nigerians that the nation's team to the 2024 Paris Olympics will surpass the records at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Speaking at Abuja during a media parley, Senator Eno says athletes representing Nigeria at the Paris Olympics have been well motivated and properly tutored to win laurels for the country. The minister also reiterated his commitment to ensure that allowances due to all the athletes are paid in good time. Well, there you have it, the top stories at this hour. Of course, they will form the talking points on the show and in the coming hours.